Welcome back, fellow geeks. Now, this is episode 2 of This Week in 3D Printing, and if you haven't stayed up to beat with all the 3D printing news this week, this is your source. And there's been a lot happening this week, and a lot to talk about between Ultimaker's new release of the Ultimaker 3 and the Ultimaker 3 Extended, Robo 3D's new R2 and C2 models being funded on Kickstarter, and the announcement of MakerGeeks' new subscription box. So there's a lot going on. Stay tuned to find out more. Now, first up this week, after the success of Robo 3D's original Kickstarter campaign 3 years ago to fund their R1 model, Robo 3D went back to basics starting September 21st to post their new, highly anticipated R2 and C2 models, and with the conclusion coming last Friday, they did very well, with raising nearly 4 times their original goal at $382,027 by 394 backers. Now, these are two really cool models. They're R2 and C2. The C2 sports a 5x5x6 print volume with a 3.5-inch color touchscreen LCD, and the R2 sports an 8x8x10-inch print volume with a 5-inch LCD touchscreen and a mounted camera on board that connects you to the Robo 3D app. Now, for all the details about this, I'm going to hand this one off to Brandon and Kobe of Robo 3D.
What's up, Kickstarter? This is Braden and Kobe, co-founders of Robo 3D, and we are back after launching our first product on Kickstarter 3 years ago.
We're proud to announce not one, but 2 new products to the Robo family, the Robo C2 and the Robo R2 3D printers.
Each one set to redefine the boundaries of 3D printing.
We've really built the industry's wish list 3D printers. Everything from best-in-class print sizes, the ability to print in 20+ materials, class-leading print speeds at 250 millimeters a second, removable print beds, built-in color touchscreens, as well as built-in Wi-Fi with a smartphone app for wireless printing. All this and plenty more.
So we really built these printers from the inside out. We wanted to be structurally sound and robust, so you could print fast, you could print big, and you could print with any type of material out there.
When we were building this new line of machines, our intention was really to put all the technology and devices that we see in smart electronics into this new line of machines.
These new printers are special because Robo 3D took all the upgrades people were making to their R1 series printers and making them a standard in their new models, including the LCD controller, enclosure, and the new feature of Wi-Fi printing. Robo 3D has also hinted at some optional upgrades to both models, suggesting a later release date for a clay and candy extruder, along with many other options and optional upgrades. Robo 3D has also said that there will in fact be a later release date to upgrade the R2 model to dual extruder as seen in their Kickstarter campaign. Now, there has not been a price release for any of these optional upgrades as of yet, but when there is, stay tuned to find out the pricing. Next in the news this week is the release of the Ultimaker 3. Now, this has been highly anticipated for the past couple weeks, as Ultimaker has slowly released more and more teasers to get everyone hooked on what they could possibly be releasing. And no, it's not a resin printer, it is the Ultimaker 3, which does not disappoint. The Ultimaker 3 is the first model the Ultimaker has released since the Ultimaker 2 in 2013. This Ultimaker ships in 2 sizes. The regular, which sports a 215 by 215 by 200 millimeter print size, which is roughly 8.5 by 8.5 by 8 inches, and a taller version, the Extended, which you'll see a print size of 197 millimeters by 215 by 300, which is roughly 7.75 by 8.5 by 11.8 inches. Now, the regular 3 is slightly smaller than the previous release 2 Plus model, but not much until you see the new standard feature, the second extruder, which will come with a price of losing 10 millimeters on your x-axis, and which is roughly about half an inch in your x-axis. Now, the second extruder is actually quite interesting because unlike other dual extruder printers, the second nozzle is not always down, as it moves up and down the Z-axis between uses, which could stop it from dragging in your freshly laid layers as it continues to print, which, if you have other dual extrusion printers, does tend to be a problem right before you have to calibrate it. Now, another feature, the Ultimaker is releasing filament with RFI chips to assure the best print quality with their new Ultimaker 3, which is similar to what Zortrax has done. But Ultimaker also says that you can override these settings in Cura if you wish to do so, which also gives you a low filament detection, as the RFID chip always keeps track of how much filament you have left. Finally, we see Ultimaker making a connection change, which seems to be becoming a norm in the industry, with Wi-Fi printing along with a USB and Ethernet print capabilities. Now, it seems to be Wi-Fi is really catching on with new printers, as you have Octoprint and Astroprint and other upgrades with Raspberry Pis that people are making to make their printers connect to Wi-Fi for easier file transportation. Now, they also are including the USB and Ethernet, which is a big change, as not a lot of printers even have access to the internet. Now, only time will tell if this newest model of the Ultimaker will stand up to the hype and the standards of its loyal Ultimaker followers, but you don't have such loyal followers unless you can produce, which I don't think is going to be a problem for this latest model of the Ultimaker. But only time can tell, and we sure do know that their loyal followers are going to put this printer to the test, and they're going to find its weak points. Now, the final story this week is the announcement of MakerGeeks' new subscription box, the Geek Box. This box is unlike other 3D printing subscription boxes, as it's not only slightly more per month, but also offers more filament a month as a monthly subscription. This box will come with 2 1-kilogram spools of filament, a 3D printing tool, and a sticker, along with MakerGeeks coupons for the subscribed month. Now, this box is currently slightly more than other boxes similar to the Maker Box and the Cube for Me and Proto Crate, which comes in at $29.45 a month. But the contents of this box are definitely worth the value if you have the money to spend. This is an interesting announcement this week from MakerGeeks, as we've started to see a rise in 3D print subscription boxes from the Maker Box, Proto Crate, and Cube for Me, with a price range ranging between $15 and $50 a month, which offers a range of products to its subscribers to receive. But as a manufacturer and distributor of many filaments, I don't think MakerGeeks is going to have the same problems other companies have run into, and that is partnering to receive filaments at a discounted rate to keep the prices down for their subscribers, as they are already a distributor and manufacturer of some really nice filaments. And if you haven't checked out MakerGeeks' website, I would highly recommend you doing so at MakerGeeks.com. Now, I really hope you've enjoyed this episode of This Week in 3D Printing. If you have any questions or suggestions, as always, please feel free to comment below, like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, thank you.